Also do a lot of misspellings. And as I'm sure you stress to all of your students, the more your copywriting sounds like the human language speaking and conversational and less structured with long sentences, the better. So I find it's just better to dictate the first draft. This morning, for whatever reason, I didn't. I did type it out without copy, but typically I do try to dictate it first. And quick comments from Dr. Sunny is joining us today. Have you already touched on the impact of AI on copywriting? Well, Sunny, we are talking about that now, but you have any additional questions for our guest, David Deutsch, let us know. And by the way, if anyone wants to come on live and join us, you can do so on StreamYard. We'll post that. We'll post the link to that shortly if it's not on the site you're looking on now. David, how do you teach people now what you do? Is it primarily through your books? Is it your online courses? Is it in-person workshops or seminars? What is the primary mode of training that you like the most and that your clients and customers like?
Yeah, I work with people in a variety of ways, right? I work with people, through my training courses, through my copywriting training, my training in creativity, coming up with ideas, which are training courses. Also, I have a group coaching where we get together twice a month and we go through copy, kind of like we're doing with your copy in a certain way. Going through it, how to make it better, how can we improve this headline? What is it? A lot of times it's strategic questions, right? Like we're talking about, like, okay, what are the reasons people would buy the product? What are the reasons people would call you for an appointment? What are the reasons people would go see your AI clone speaking in different languages? So there's the group coaching, and then there's one-on-one coaching where I just work with people either once a week or a couple times a month. And we, to improve their marketing, improve their copywriting. Some of those people are copywriters, want to be, more successful. Some of them are business owners that write their own copy, which I think is a huge strategic. If you're a business owner and can write your own copy, you have a huge strategic advantage because first of all, you don't have to deal with finding and paying copywriters and trying to explain your business to them and get them to write great copy for you, which is a lot of work, right? Even good copywriters.
Let me ask you, what percentage of business owners can't write their own copy? Presumably, if they're an owner of a business and they have built up enough to sustain even a one-person business, they are used to expressing themselves, their ideas, whether it's one-on-one conversations with clients and prospects. Isn't that a transferable skill to turn it into text, which is whether it's then turned into a radio ad or a TV ad? How much of it is just they tell themselves, I'm not a copywriter, or they tell themselves, I'm not creative type?
Yeah, no, I think
or is it just a completely different skill that doesn't necessarily overlap?
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it is that, right? People, if you're running a company, you've been selling your product, right? One-on-one for a long time. You've been writing about your product. You've been sending out emails. I think a lot of it is the mindset of that copywriting is this foreign thing that I don't know how to do, or I'm not good at, or, whatever that is that's keeping them from accessing their inner persuader, which is perfectly capable of writing copy, just like it would be perfectly capable of selling someone one-to-one across the table.
Now, I hate to sound like a walking cliche, but I know you've heard the expression, the cobbler's children wear no shoes. I constantly find people in the PR business, for example, are the worst at doing PR for themselves.
Sure.
Let's just do a test here. Walk us through your website and tell us exactly how you came up with the copy for your own website. You talk about something a lot of people, the American Dairy Association, milk does a body good. The results were bad. Got milk is obviously something that people remember. Disclosure, I've done a lot of work with the American Dairy Association and different places in New York. Tell us about what you're writing here. And we see right out of the gate, without reading it carefully, I see a lot of one-sentence paragraphs, easy to read, sometimes a 4-word paragraph. Tell us about the ad copy on your own website.
Well, I think it's kind of what we've been talking about, right? Like what interests, what's interesting to me, right? Interesting to me is that got copy milk campaign, where instead of saying milk does a body good, they came up with the headline or the idea of got milk, right? You're eating a cookie and it's really dry and sticky and you want to have milk, right? Milk goes with certain things, and the absence of milk can be really bad. So they played with that. So I also played with it in terms of, got copy. And it was a way a way to get into a discussion about the importance of copy through that classic campaign of
and I see that you have it in the form of a letter. You have your name. You actually have a signature, which from all I've read in copywriting books, the signature matters. People do A/B testing of a blue signature ink versus black. How much thought did you put into that? Even things like the color of the ink when you're doing like a traditional paper direct mail campaign?
The main thing with something like that is readability. And interestingly, the main thing with the signature is legibility, right?